your relationship with Doc Halladay, which went, well beyond the game, including a lot of good time spent together off the field, right?
Yeah, for sure. I've spoke on it a lot, and not much over the last few years, but he, we weren't. The funny thing was we weren't teammates a ton. We were a little bit in the minor leagues, and that's where we started growing our friendship and our bond. A little bit in the big leagues, but really we were friends off the field and spent a lot of good times together, just doing random normal stuff, fishing and golfing and that kind of stuff. And we were very similar. I think we used our baseball ability to distract from a lot of anxieties and other things that go on in our life. And he was just an awesome guy, hard worker. Loved watching him compete and a great friend. So he's obviously missed, but I tend to try to remember all the good times that we had.
And one of them for someone else was life-saving. Do you know this story? Do you remember the story about?
I don't.
Can you recall it? Because I think it's been a while since it was brought up. But we were digging through the life-saving story where you came across a dude that was bit by a snake, right?
The anaconda story. This is the funniest story in the whole wide world. So we're in the Amazon. I've cleared this story up, and so has Doc. We were in the Amazon fishing. We went there for it was like 10 days. And long story short, you'd wake up in the morning, get in your boats. There was 8 of us. It was me, player-wise, it was me, Doc, and BJ Ryan, and then there was a bunch of other friends.
Don't say that name. Don't say that.
Why?
Because I can't get a hit off that guy. So I'm scared still.
Oh my gosh, scared me.
So we went on this trip, and every morning you'd wake up, get in here. There was 4 little aluminum bass trackers. You'd get in your boats and you'd go off into the jungle and fish all day, and then you'd pop out in the afternoon or the evening, and you'd come back to the houseboat and have dinner. And I was off. Doc was not with me that day, and I was off with another guy. And we come back, and everybody, all would come back around the same time. We're sitting up on the top deck of the houseboat drinking and hanging out, and all of a sudden there was 2 boats that were super late, and it got dark and they weren't coming. Anyways, they get back, and Doc and his boat were the one that ran across this. There's like a local Aborigine guy that was attacked by an anaconda in the water. They actually had pictures of him sitting in a tree with nothing on because the anaconda had pulled like all his clothes off or something. I don't know. But anyways, so Doc goes, their group, it was more than Doc. There was 8 of them or 4 of them. And they went and, got him out of the water, got him up to shore, that's where he ran into the tree and all this other stuff, and got him safe. And the guide was the one that was able to communicate with him to know what was going on. But anyways, I mean, this thing blew up that it turned into Doc and I dove into the Amazon, saved this guy from death. And literally a week later, it pops up, and I mean, Doc got calls from the Animal Planet and CNN and all kinds of stuff being like, what happened? Tell us what happened. So the story got blown out of proportion. Really, they helped him out of the water into a boat onto the edge of the river, and he took off. It wasn't like they ripped him from the deathly grasp of an anaconda, but and I wasn't even a part of it. But somehow I became legendary in it. I don't know.
We're gonna change the story to where Doc dove in with only a knife in his mouth, and the guy was already in his belly, and he just cut the anaconda. Yes. It's like the movie.
Dude,
yeah. Remember the movie?
For sure.
Jennifer Lopez was in it, and they were in the same thing, and anaconda's attacking them.
Isn't the movie called Anaconda?
Yeah, I think Ice Cube's in it, right? Or I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was Doc. Doc was jumping in with just a knife in his mouth, and slitting this thing open. We can do that now. We can change stories now. It's okay.
For sure.
Well, my follow-up would be, when you were there at the time, next day, you go out fishing again, are you kind of looking over your shoulder, making sure that there's no anacondas going to jump out of the water and, have you for lunch?
I was always looking over my shoulder because you didn't know what was out there. It was a blast. There was all kinds of crazy stuff that we did. We went caiman hunting. We ate turtles. I didn't realize that there was such thing as pink river dolphins that look just like regular dolphins, but they're pink. They'd come up and attack the fish that you were reeling in, trying to eat them. So they'd be following your boat around, catching piranhas, all kinds of stuff. So you're definitely looking over your shoulder to what's going on.
I was wondering what species when you booked that trip, Carp, you're like, okay, we're going to the Amazon, guys. We're not going to a lake in the middle of Texas. We're going to the Amazon rainforest jungle. That's some serious jungle. What are you targeting? Like, what fish do you target? You don't go down there and say, we're going to fish for piranhas today, guys.
Most of the time, what you go down there for is peacock bass. You can fish for them like in southern Florida too, but they're small. You get like little ones. Down there, they get up to like 20, 22, 25 pounds. So that's what you're mainly fishing for. And then you can go mess around with like those red-tailed catfish and piranhas and all kinds of different random species. But the main one that you go down there to go fishing for is peacock bass, which we caught plenty of, and it was a lot of fun.
Jeez. Okay. So I'll take you to another former teammate to swing back to the Clemens conversation.
The best part, I'll finish. The best part about the trip, though, was it was after the World Series. And that was after we had won in 11, and I beat Doc in game 5. And we were wearing him out because the best part about it was I got the base hit off him up the middle. It didn't matter that I beat him pitching, but I almost took his ankles off on my line drive base hit up the middle. So we were wearing him out on that too.
That's fun.
He hated that
right
the
after.
most.
Yeah, you guys get to hang out. So was he kind of looking like, I don't know if I want to go on this trip because Carp's just going to give me shit the whole time?
No, we had a good time, and it wasn't even me. I mean, besides the base hit part, it was the other guys, including BJ, that was getting all over him.
I didn't know this. Now I got a little...
0 for 10, 9 punchies, I think.
I got a verbal
BJ Ryan.
Verbal weapon in my arsenal.
Dude,
if there's ever a problem, BJ Ryan.